Hey, you may not want to manage your own rental property. And if so, you found the right video. Hey, let's cue in that intro and dive deep into the topic. Hey, how's it going, friend? Juan, Pablo here. Now on this channel, we like to focus on the 3 pillars to financial freedom, which are personal finance, funding, and real estate investing, focusing on multi-units and multi-family properties. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome, we're glad to have you. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this content. So that way the algorithm can do its thing to provide you with additional videos to help you along your journey towards financial freedom. So without further ado, let's dive into the topic. So you might be a tired landlord, right? Or you might be on the verge of closing on a property. Let's say, woohoo, your first investment property. However, you're not too enthused about managing it, right? Because you might have heard the horror stories that rental properties are all about tenants, toilets, and taxes. Meaning tenants, they don't pay their rent, or they destroy your property and toilets break, and so does there's a lot of wear and tear, a lot of maintenance and repairs you have to do. And taxes, they go up, as well as utility bills and other expenses and so forth. That makes the property unprofitable. And you just heard it all to the point you say, hey, I don't want to manage it. I don't want anything to do with it. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. However, there's some things I do want to share with you about this. All right, so let's dive into it. One of the first things I want to share about you is this, that at the end of the day, you are the owner. So as the owner, you are the entrepreneur. This is your business, your baby, because real estate investing is a business. Why am I saying all that? Well, the reason why I'm saying all these things is because you're ultimately responsible for the performance of your property, as well as held accountable, especially if you're investing with other investors. So as an entrepreneur, right, I have an online business, right? I have a YouTube channel, in addition to my real estate portfolio. So as an online businessman, when I hire somebody on my team, and let's say they didn't do a decent job, at the end of the day, I'm responsible and accountable because I'm the one who hired that individual. And if I hired that individual, I have to make sure that I'm able to manage that individual, as well as make sure I'm able to hold that person accountable and potentially train that person. So I'm responsible for screening that person, hiring that person, training that person, managing that person, holding that person accountable to make sure they're doing their job in the best way possible so that it yields the results that I'm looking for. Point blank, period. So you do have to take ownership. You own the property. And if you're buying a property, you don't want to just immediately outsource the management to a property management company or person without you knowing a thing or two about property management, because you don't want them to pull the wool over your eyes and not knowing a thing about what they're talking about. Similar to going to the auto mechanic for an oil change, and then they come back and tell you need about $15,000 worth of repairs. And you have no clue because you have no familiarity with cars, right? Especially with the mechanic aspect of it. So you want to make sure you do have a baseline understanding about property management, okay? Now the second thing I want to mention, just to elaborate on the first point, because I know it was a lot of stuff in there, a lot of stuff, pushed in there, but I do want to share with you this other thing as well. You have to learn management, because if you're new to investing, more than likely you might be new to entrepreneurship. And more than likely, you might be working a 9 to 5. You might be an employee, which is okay, right? However, if you're an employee in which you're not in a supervisory role, let's say independent of how much you get paid or independent of your title or whatever, how grand it is, but if you don't have that managerial experience in the workplace, it'll be easy for your property manager to not necessarily take advantage, but it'll be easier for you to mismanage that relationship. So I implore you, you have to learn management skills, okay? Meaning, one of the things I do with management is I need to have clear, specific, concise communication with my team. So if my property manager says, oh, I'll reach out to that tenant as soon as possible, unacceptable. I will not accept that response. What does that mean as soon as possible? I don't know what's possible for you, right? What's possible for you might be a week from now, but I need it done tomorrow. What's possible for you is you get around to it next month, but I need it done by Friday, right? I need specifics. I need you to tell me when and where and how and who, every single detail. And I need to make sure this is jotted down, itemized, so that way I can follow up with you if it doesn't happen. Okay, so you need to make sure you get the right management skills and know how to screen people, because sometimes a lot of beginning real estate investors, they'll just hire a property manager, maybe the first 1 or 2 companies they spoke with, and it says, oh, it sounds good, but they don't necessarily know how to screen them properly. They don't do the top graded interview. They don't move forward with checking their references or make them audition for the job before they hire them. As you know, in the entertainment industry, most of the time actors just don't get hired off the spot, no matter how great their name is or how deep their rap sheet is. They still have to audition for the part. They have to, the casting directors have to see that person in that role initially before they actually give them that role. So similarly, you want to do the same thing with your property manager. You want them to audition, test them out, see how they work, and so forth. Now, the other thing I want to share with you is this. You have to track their performance, meaning there has to be some sort of metric, some sort of KPI, key performance indicator, some sort of spreadsheet to be able to see the data. Because I have to do that with my team, because sure, you can trust but verify, right? I mean, sure, you can trust, but you always want to verify. You can trust that they're doing a good job, but you have to verify by the numbers. And that's what you manage by, my friend. You manage by the numbers. You don't manage the person, meaning I need to see you working. Because that's how I used to manage. I had to have an office and see if this person's working, if they're on the phone, typing on a computer. That doesn't matter. What matters is, are they hitting their performance levels or their performance metrics, their performance goals? Let's say they're showing a vacant unit of yours. What closing rate do you want? What closing rate is expected? Meaning, if they're showing a vacant unit to prospective tenants, to candidates, you want to make sure that out of every 4 showings, you get a tenant under contract, at least, in other words. So that's a closing rate of 1 out of 4, which is 25%. Okay, and you also want to make sure that when there's a repair done, they give you 3 bids. So you want to have processes, that's called SOPs, standard operating procedures, in place as well. So there's multiple things that you need to have in place to make sure that you effectively manage a property manager or property management company. Because otherwise, if you just let them do their own thing, you're not tracking their performance, you're not managing them properly, and you just hire any old property management company off the street, then that just decreases the likelihood of your asset performing. And as I shared, ultimately you're responsible. So you want to make sure all that money you spent, all that time you spent, all that legwork you spent actually acquiring that property, that it actually produces the returns you're looking for. And it will happen as long as you manage the property manager. This is called asset management. All right, guys, so I do have a video about property management. Check the link below in the description to learn more. And I also have another video. So if you're interested in scaling your portfolio, getting to that next level where multifamily properties are concerned, I have a free training for you. So make sure you check the link below in the description to learn more. As always, guys, this is to your success. Continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace.